Well, hello everyone. Thank you for joining me today. Welcome back if you were here for the first one. If this is your first time joining for the goals webinar, I'm so happy you're here. So this is Let's Get Real 2021. This is part 2, Real Habits and Real Results. So before we get started, just wanted to give you guys a little bit more information on who I am. So I have worked with Elevation Corporate Health for over 6 years now, and I manage the T. Rowe Price Fitness Center in Colorado. I have a bachelor's in health science from the University of Colorado in Colorado Springs. I'm an ACE certified personal trainer and Group X instructor. And then through Elevation, I'm a certified nutrition coach. A few fun facts about me. So I was a figure skater growing up. And in order to continue to progress in competitions and pay for ice time, I became a figure skating coach. And that's kind of how I found my passion for coaching and working one-on-one with individuals. That's kind of what led me to my career that I'm at now. I've hiked over 12 14ers. If you're not from Colorado, a 14er is a mountain that's 14,000 feet or higher. When you get to the summit of them, they're absolutely gorgeous. You're up in the clouds, looking down on other mountains. I love spending my time up in the mountains and hiking. Some of my hobbies include running and doing spin classes. And then I just had a baby, so I love spending time with my family and my puppies, Moto and Nala, and just being outdoors. And then a random fun fact about me is I love to do laundry. So I know it's kind of weird, but super fun, smells good, it's clean, organized afterwards. So anyway, random fun fact about me. So that's a little bit about myself. We're going to talk about motivation, how to establish healthy habits, and how to overcome obstacles to bring you closer to your goals. So first thing is day-by-day progress. So how do you make that day-to-day progress with your goals? The first thing I want you to keep in mind is limiting the goals so that you don't feel overwhelmed. From the first part of this presentation, we had one main goal, and then we had like 2 to 3 short-term goals. So hopefully you're looking at accomplishing one main one and then 2 to 3 short-term goals. So you're looking at 2 to 3 goals throughout the year that you're trying to accomplish, and that will most likely be plenty. So just try to really focus in on those goals so you don't feel so overwhelmed while you're trying to accomplish them. Another huge thing is to plan your day out and schedule time for your goals. So one idea is at the beginning of every morning, or maybe you have a planner. Whatever this looks like for you, you go ahead and list the things that you want to get done for the day. And hopefully on that list is your goals that you're working on. And then it always feels good as you go through your day and cross things off that list, that you just feel accomplished. And hopefully those small little wins of crossing things off help keep you motivated for the next day. So yeah, just going through that list at the end of the day or as you accomplish them, checking them off, kind of keeps you on track with your goals. How to stay motivated. So this is huge, especially at first. It seems like we're really motivated with our goals, maybe that first few weeks, maybe the first month, and then that motivation maybe kind of slowly starts to dwindle. So some ideas with that is, once again, just make sure that there's value to you achieving your goal. So we're going back to that why. The why has to be big enough in your life to keep you motivated. So make sure that there's value in achieving your goals. With goal setting, it's okay to be selfish. Most likely that's going to be the way that you're most successful, is that it's truly something you want for yourself and your life. So another thing is to visualize your results. With this, I don't mean that you have to meditate or things like that. If you love doing that, that is awesome. Do that. But this just means even at some point in your day, taking 15 seconds to just visualize what your goals look like. So for example, if your goal is to financially save money this year for your house, maybe you take 15 seconds visualizing what you want your future house to look like, or a room in your future house, just so you can really see yourself making that accomplishment. Maybe your goal is to be able to squat 225. Imagine yourself squatting that heavy weight, keeping your form looking good. Visualization really does help just keep the mind in the right mindset on accomplishing those goals. Third, surround yourself with people who have similar goals and ideas and want the same things as you. This just helps keep, like I said, keep you motivated because you're around people that want similar things. Especially I think when you're trying to do health goals and maybe eating healthy and things like that. If your friends are on board with you, it's a lot easier to make healthy snacks and all bring something healthy and that sort of thing. So just surround yourself with people who want similar things. And then don't worry about things you can't control. I know that's easier said than done, but if you're worrying about something that you truly have no control over, let it go. Don't waste your time and energy on that. Put that time and energy into other ways to accomplishing your goal. And then always just remember to break your goal down into small steps so that you don't feel overwhelmed. So from our first goal setting workshop, hopefully your action plan for those short-term goals had those small steps in there. So just make sure that you're breaking it down into small steps so that as you accomplish one step, you're going right to the next one. So that's some ideas on motivation. Okay, so now we're going to get into habits. So the definition of a habit is something that you do repetitively every day. A lot of times you don't even think about it, and these habits can have a negative or positive effect on your goal. Take a second to think about the current habits that you have and what habits you might want to create to help encourage you to meet your goals, and what habits you should break that might be standing in the way of your goal. So I think we all have some habits that we could start doing that would definitely help. And we probably have some habits that we need to create to get back on track with things. So when you're creating a habit, you don't want to make this new habit too complicated or detailed. It should be something pretty simple and that you don't have to think much about. Take it one day at a time. So don't think about how this is going to look in a week or a month. Just how does it look right now, and doing it in that day and moment. And then be consistent. This is huge. When you're trying to form a new habit, you want to be consistent with it so that it becomes something that you naturally do. So trying to do it at like the same time every day. That adds another level of just being consistent. And then put reminders up. So I have some PT clients that do not drink water. And it's been something that we have worked on for a long time. And one of the things that really seemed to help them was putting reminders in their phone or on their like Outlook calendars. And they put a reminder in every 2 hours that checked in and was like, hey, have you drank your 16 ounces of water? And this really helped them just because they got so caught up in their work and day-to-day life that they just simply forgot. So putting reminders up, whether, like I said, it's in your phone, it's on your Outlook calendar, maybe your significant other can remind you every night, anything like that to just help reminders going off throughout the day. Remove any temptation that you have. So if you're trying to eat healthy, if you can, don't go buy the Oreos and the ice cream in the freezer. Just try to remove that temptation altogether. I know some people, I don't know if you have kids or your significant other maybe just loves Oreos and you can't deprive them of them. Go ahead and instead of removing the temptation altogether, just create a drawer maybe in your fridge that you throw all your fresh produce in. And when you want a snack, you can only go to that drawer. So you're only looking at those healthy choices and you're removing the outside temptation. And then once again, doing it for yourself. So just creating habits that you find benefits in. So we're going to take a couple minutes here to write down habits that you want to break and habits that you want to create. Like I said, if you feel like sharing, I'd love to hear from you. Take yourself off mute. Otherwise, I'm going to open up this chat box and drop your comments in there. Awesome. Someone is saying that they got a water bottle online that has that for a gallon every day, and it gives you times and motivational sayings to help remind you to drink. That's perfect. That's a good way to do it. I've also seen water bottles that light up to remind you to drink every few hours. Yes, tracking your food in MyFitnessPal. That is a great way to stay on track. Keep yourself accountable, which we're going to be talking about.
Lindsay, there is a question about water intake.
Yes.
It's about what is a good ounce per hour.
So if, the standard is 64 ounces of water a day. So that 8 glasses is kind of like the standard go-to. If you're exercising, I would definitely increase that water intake by probably 2 to 4 additional cups. So another 16 to 32 ounces on top of that 64. Per hour, I would try to, if you can, I would try to do a cup an hour for like a 12-hour window. That would be optimal and amazing. If that's not realistic, I would try to every 2 hours, make sure you're at least drinking 1 to 2 glasses. is kind of how I would look at that. So I have clients that when they first wake up in the morning, they're drinking water, and at noon, they're supposed to have drink at least 4 cups. And then from noon to 5 p.m., they're supposed to drink an additional 4 cups. And then after dinner, I just say the more water you drink, the best. But at that point, they've at least hit their 64 ounces. So by lunch, 4 glasses, and then by dinner, another 4 glasses. Like I said, if you're exercising, maybe try to aim for 5 to 6 at each of those marks. Does that answer that question? Listening to 30, 60 minutes of podcasts first thing in the morning every day before starting my workday. That's awesome. That's a great way to start your day off positive. I'm trying to quit Hershey's Kisses. I increased exercise time. That's great. Love that. For the person that's getting rid of the chocolate, have you found something when you're craving it that you can eat instead? We're going to kind of get to barriers, but that's another thing to think about when you're craving that food you're trying to cut out. If you found like a healthier snack, things like that to replace that chocolate. Walking at lunchtime, went to hike. I just send my daughter to the store. Is that trying to eliminate the temptation? I like that. Try not to worry as much. Remind myself to take deep breaths throughout the day. That is wonderful. I love that one. That is so good. It's amazing what breathing does. Just taking a second to kind of check out from what you're doing and just really focus on breathing and maybe something positive. I love that. That's great. New goal for exercise is to walk the stairs after every meal. Good. I like that. That's specific too. And that can become a habit and a routine without even thinking about it after you do it for a while. These are awesome, you guys. I love this. Perfect. Okay, keep them coming. I'm going to keep moving on. I will open this chat box here in a few minutes. All right. So there's things on habits. Is there any questions about the habits? Okay, so next is barriers. So the definition of a barrier is a circumstance or an obstacle that gets in the way of one reaching your goals or dreams. So let's be honest here. You don't actually have to raise your hand, but how many of you guys have a goal for 2021 that you have had in the past? Whether it was last year or a few years ago, but you're trying to meet a goal again that you weren't able to achieve in a prior year. So first off, take a second to think about why you didn't reach that goal the first time. So my guess is that some barriers, those pesky little things, got in the way of you meeting your goal. So we need to have a plan when these barriers come up on how we're going to face them and what we're going to do. So sorry, I have some chats popping up here. So yeah, we need to have a plan for how we are going to react when we face these barriers while trying to reach our goals. So take a second. If this is a new goal, that is awesome. But what barriers do you see getting in the way of you accomplishing your goals? So if it was a past goal, what got in your way so that you didn't accomplish it? If it's a new goal, what do you foresee possibly getting in the way and making it harder for you to accomplish your goal? So go ahead and write those down. And then we're going to try to create a plan of when this happens, I'm going to try A, B, and C. So an example with this is kind of back to that fridge, maybe just having a specific drawer for items you're eating. You're trying to eat healthy, and you know that if you see those pretzels or those chips in the pantry, it's going to be really hard for you to resist. So A, you're going to try to stop buying or really limit how many chip bags and pretzels you're going to have in there and available to yourself. B, you're going to have maybe a section in your pantry or your fridge that only has the healthy snacks you can eat from. And C, maybe occasionally once a week, you're going to allow yourself to have a small portion of that treat. So those are when I'm facing this barrier, I'm going to try A, B, and C to get past it and to continue towards my goal. So what barriers do you guys see getting in your way of some of the new habits or goals that you're trying to create? Once again, if you guys want to share them, I'd love to hear from you in the chat box. How do you avoid burnout? Is it okay to take a break every now and again? Sometimes I'm just so tired. For sure, definitely. I think, to be honest, especially like with working out and stuff, if you're going at it 6 days a week and you do that multiple weeks in a row, it does get exhausting. So give yourself that break, whether it's, you take 2 to 3 days off, just to recuperate. Maybe you do something more low impact. You do some yoga, you do meditation, you go on walks with your family, just change it up. But yeah, definitely. And it's good to take a break when you feel that burnout coming, instead of letting yourself burn out. And then maybe you just give up And it's way better to feel that burnout coming and to have another plan. So whether you change your style of workout, whether you just give yourself those 3 days off, definitely give yourself a break. That is okay. Also, if you keep getting burnt out and tired, think about maybe changing up your workout routine a little bit. Maybe you need to incorporate less cardio, a little bit more strength, or vice versa. Stretching, that sort of thing is all huge too. Foam rolling. So change it up a little bit if you're starting to feel burned out pretty frequently. Okay, this person, my family not on board with healthier meals. I need to meet my goals. Struggle to find that happy medium. Yeah, that's hard. So if your family's not on board, what about, do you have any like friends that you could see if they wanted to get on board with you, and maybe you focus on healthy breakfast and lunch and meal planning with them, and then dinner, maybe you don't go as healthy, but still, I mean, with your family, maybe you can still make sure you're doing vegetables, whole grains, stuff like that, and then having higher portions of the vegetables and the healthier stuff, and then the unhealthy stuff just have a small portion of. But yeah, that it's hard when you're trying to get your family on board. But finding friends to help you, you can even meal prep with lunches and swap lunch meals. I've done that with friends. What's an idea with that? Family still eats junk food right in front of me. I mean, with that, I would say, can you mention it to them? Like, how do they react if you say, like, hey, if you're going to eat that, go in another room. Don't eat it in front of me. Or else maybe you just get up and you go do something. That does make it harder. Find a healthier snack that you still enjoy, and then you can go get that snack while they eat their junk food. And then you remember that you're accomplishing your goal. Establishing a good routine is easier now that I'm working from home, no donuts and chips. I know some of my employees, the break rooms get them a lot. So yeah, that's awesome. I'm great that it's working better from home. Running out of ideas. Was that referring to like healthy meals? What was that referring to? I get too busy or have meetings scheduled when I want to exercise. Can you book your calendar at all with that? Like, can you actually just take a half an hour so that people can't schedule over it possibly? Otherwise, I know this is easier said than done, but maybe getting up a half an hour earlier, or if you have a TV show that you watch every week, during the commercial breaks, start marching in place, start doing the stairs, move around like every commercial break, just move. Even simple things like that, if you don't have time in your schedule, make a big difference. So for meals, first off, there's a nutrition series coming up, and I think they're going to be providing some healthy recipes. So you should check that out. Also with healthy meals, I mean, Pinterest, things like that. Try just Googling healthy meals. Also, feel free to email me. I have a variety of healthy meals and recipes that I would love to send to you, that I have references for some of my PT clients. But yeah, just, looking online. There's some great cookbooks out there, that sort of thing. Okay, I think I'm going to keep going. I'll open this back up if I can here in a second. Okay, so next is accountability. So this one is huge. So accountability is, you need to be able to hold yourself accountable for your actions. So first thing is, if you are working on a goal that you're just struggling with, or it's a goal, like I said, that you've tried to do a couple years in a row, it's okay to ask for help. If you're struggling to meet that goal and you need help, find someone that you trust or that has a background to help you with the struggles that you're facing. At some point in our lives, I think everyone needs help with something. So just being comfortable with reaching out to someone who specializes in what you're having a hard time with, or just seeking that help that you need is completely fine. And then with accountability, it also helps if you find somebody that can help hold you accountable. So an accountability buddy. So try to find a friend or maybe your significant other that wants the same goals as you, and then hold each other accountable. But make sure whoever you find isn't afraid to call you out. So you don't want an accountability buddy that if all week you had donuts for breakfast, they're like, oh, you did great though, you were trying. No, you want somebody who's gonna be like, oh, maybe doing it once, but every single day, why were you doing that? You want somebody who can truly hold you accountable and call you out. So make sure you're specific with who you select in that, so that you are truly being, held accountable for your actions. And another thing is, when you find this person, schedule it, because we get so busy in day-to-day life. Schedule that maybe every Monday morning you guys shoot each other a text, or you hop on a call on your way to work Monday mornings and you go over how your week's been going, what you're struggling with, what you're doing good with, and just make sure that you actually have that time throughout the week that you're going through things and holding each other accountable. So take a second and try to think of somebody that could be your accountability buddy. Maybe write a few ideas down, shoot them a text right now or an email. But it does help to have somebody that's alongside with you. And it's even better if they have the same goals. But if you have separate goals, you just help each other each try to achieve that goal that you're working for. Yeah, exactly. Put that workout or that time for yourself in your calendar so that you are booked. Maybe just save personal time, or you don't even have to tell them it's a workout, because I feel like sometimes people are like, oh, they can move their workout if they see it says workout or exercise class. Just put that time in there and let yourself have that time. It's important. All right. So I just wanted to remind you guys of all of Elevation's services as we're talking about this goal setting and accountability and that sort of thing. So Elevation does have virtual coaching. So you get to work with certified personal trainers, wellness coaches, nutrition coaches at any time, and they can help you stay accountable and stay on track to helping you reach your goals. We also have Elevation Live and Station. A lot of you are probably familiar with that. That's how you heard about this. But Elevation Live has the fitness classes and wellness workshops like this, and that you can join those live fitness classes via Zoom. And then Elevation Station has on-demand fitness and like our wellness library. And we also just have our brand new mobile app called Boost, which is super exciting. You can access us from your phone now. And then I know some of you guys mentioned podcasts. That you listen to those in the morning. We do have podcasts as well, so feel free to check those out. And then Elevation does have a Facebook page and Instagram where we're going to keep you updated on all the upcoming events, maybe some specialty classes, all sorts of awesome things. So please follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And then the final thing, here's my email and contact information. Thank you everyone for joining me today, and I hope you guys have an awesome week.